Of all the rappers that came out of that big SoundCloud movement of 2016, 2017, the one that stuck with me the most and whose music I've enjoyed the most and has meant a lot to me is ironically one that's not really a rapper. He's more of a singer. It's Trippie Redd. Trippie Redd means the world to me. Trippie Redd is a terrible singer. There's no way around it. You listen to any of his tracks, and he just doesn't sound nice in the way that we traditionally assess singers. If he went and did what he does on his tracks in any like choir or vocal class, he would get the smack down by him on him by the instructor, and he would be a laughingstock. And that's why Trippie Redd is the biggest inspiration to me of any singer ever. As irrational as I know that sounds as it's coming out of my mouth. Because I was very much discouraged from singing as a kid. I was told I didn't have a good singing voice. Ironically, being in musical theater growing up as a kid actually put big psychological barriers to singing for me. Because I was surrounded by high standards for singing, and I didn't have natural, raw singing skills. I was just told, don't sing. And so I listened. And listening to Trippie Redd just really opened up a door for me. And that you don't actually need to be technically good at something in order to do it. And a weirder point comes around that you don't need to be good at something in order to do it in a way that's good. Again, it makes absolutely no sense, but Trippie Redd still manages to find melodies and character in his voice, even when he's straining it to a crazy degree, this intentionally ugly way. He gets back to a place that makes for a song that I want to listen to. Like, it kind of sounds good, even though he sounds terrible. It's at least extremely intriguing, and I keep going back to it. I'm going to get murdered by some people for saying this, but in a similar way that Bob Dylan or Tom Waits or, people with not exactly what we consider technically perfect voices that have a lot of flaws to them, that's exactly what people love to listen to. I've talked before about Christopher Walken and his free expression in acting. That isn't exactly a textbook what everybody thinks of as great acting. But it resonates with me because he always just gives it his total self-expression, whatever role he's in. It's similar with Trippie Redd. The fact that he has no shame about singing with a voice that a lot of people are going to hate. It almost seems like it lights him up in this kind of punk rocky kind of way. That he really is just doing him. And if you're going to call it bad, he's just going to laugh about it. Yeah, terrible singing has been amazingly inspiring for me. And I do really enjoy singing, and I'm getting into the swing of doing it consistently these days. And I am in actual singing lessons, to develop technically. So am I being a hypocrite to my message? No. Because what Trippie Redd has taught me is that at any point in that learning process, wherever I am, is good enough to present. If you're like, no, it's not, because it's not up to singing competition standards, I don't need singing competition standards. I need the standard of, am I going to express myself and feel good about it? And wherever I am at in the learning process for singing, the answer is absolutely yes. If I just choose that. And this is where I talk to little boy Joe and say, your singing voice now is enough for you to sing. Regardless of what any director or fellow singer says to you. You know, I'm going to give you past Joe advice also, in that every time that they make some rude comment about your voice, sing louder. Sing it into the microphone so bad that it's going to make their ears bleed. Oh, but maybe don't do that because you might strain your voice, and future Joe, me, is going to have to pay the price of that.